Hi guys, welcome back to Ask a Lawyer channel. Hope you are having a great day. Today, I have 3 new stories for you. Enjoy, and don't forget to like and subscribe. My family is Asian. My husband's side is white. My husband and I got married and are treating his side of the family and my side to a 1-week all-expense-paid vacation to Bora Bora as a pre-family honeymoon before going off to our real one. We were able to rent out half of a side of the bungalows, and only one villa was in that section. My husband and I took the villa. The bungalows are 1,000 square feet, 1 bedroom, option of 1 king bed or 2 queens, 1 bathroom, and out-of-door space type of deal. We made sure everyone was accommodated for and everyone had a comfortable living situation. Our villa is a 4,000 square foot, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, including sauna, living room, a grand outdoor space with an outdoor bathtub, pool, and slide to get in the ocean. We have not even made it a whole 24 hours yet, and a fight has already broken out. During dinner, my cousin mentioned wanting to come over and use our slide. My grandparents asked what we were talking about and asked to see pictures of our room. Well, they saw my villa and demanded that we trade rooms with them, as no elders should be made to slave and live as peasants while their grandchildren get a nicer room. This is Bora Bora we're talking about. No one is living as a peasant here. There was only 1 villa available in our section. Had I given in to my grandparents, I think it would have been offensive to my husband's grandparents. If there was 3, we would have given it to both grandparents and 1 for ourselves. But unfortunately, there wasn't. I mentioned this and they still demanded the villa. I obviously objected and said I felt as though my husband and I should have that room, as this is a vacation with family to celebrate our marriage. Plus, we paid for this entire trip. Wouldn't one just sit back and be grateful they're on a free vacation instead of complaining? My grandparents freaked out, saying I'm holding money above their head and that I'm being disrespectful and not following their orders. They stormed off after threatening to take the first flight out tomorrow morning and leaving. I don't know what to do. My side of the family is telling me to just give them the room to be respectful and bring peace to the family, while my husband's side thinks my grandparents are batshit crazy, and I agree. They are so ridiculous. All I wanted was both sides of the family to get together and get to know each other, and now it's falling apart. I don't think I'm the idiot at all. But I've been up all night thinking whether I should just squash it and invite my grandparents to stay in the villa in order for them not to leave. But another part of me just wants to tell them to go duck themselves for making my honeymoon about themselves, just like they do with everything else. So what do I do? Will I be the idiot if I denied giving up my villa? I think that OP is definitely not an idiot. But her grandparents are not only idiots, but narcissist, manipulative people. They are creating major drama and basically ruining the trip. I would tell them to go ahead and leave, and I would tell the rest of the family that if they thought we were wrong, that they are free to leave too. I would let them know that we plan to enjoy the trip, and no negativity or drama is allowed. Let's go to updates, guys, and see what OP decided to do with her ungrateful grandparents. Update. Even though I really wanted to be petty and tell them to duck off, I decided it'd be better to kill them with kindness, so they have little to work with if they decide to spin it around that I was disrespectful. During breakfast, my grandparents refused to show up if I was there. Everyone tried calling them. Nope, we're not coming cause disrespectful granddaughter is there. After a lot of persuading and even having to send our baby cousin to their room to soften them up, they finally decided to come. I made the first conversation by asking if they looked at any flights to leave yet. They could forward the pay stub to my cell. They said they hadn't looked yet and that should be my job if I was kicking them out. I made sure they knew I was not kicking them out, but understood if they wanted to leave, and offered to send some staff to their room to pack up their belongings so they could have a little more time to explore, or get their complimentary in-room massage that comes with all the bungalows. They kind of stopped eating and looked at each other in shock. Every time they threatened to not go anywhere, my family has always babied them and begged them to not leave and offer money or extravagant gifts for them to stay. Well, I'm not doing that. I'll pay for their flight back home, but I've already done enough accommodating on my honeymoon vacation. So there you have it. They tried scaring me into begging them to stay. I called their bluff. After breakfast, I found a flight leaving around 5 p.m. and walked to the main desk to ask them to cancel reservations for that room for the rest of the trip and to send staff to help pack. They also didn't get their complimentary massage because the resort only offers that on 4-night stays or longer. Staff came to help pack, and they left half an hour ago. I'm currently in my villa de-stressing before dinner, and some uncles came in, who were married into the family, and confided in me that they were sick and tired of the entitlement my grandparents have had since day one, and they were glad someone born into the family decided to speak up. My cousins came over and honestly couldn't care less my grandparents are gone. In their words, they kill the vibe. So everyone's happy right now and is using my slide before cleaning up for dinner. I am happy I was able to stand up to my grandparents without being blatantly disrespectful. I have an overflow of messages about what my profession is. I did not go the usual Asian route. I actually dropped out of my last year of college and started a fashion line that took a couple years to take off, but surprisingly skyrocketed a few years ago. My dad is also an entrepreneur. I looked up to him and am so glad I had him as an inspiration who paved the way. Don't give up on your dreams. Well done, OP. I think she managed the situation perfectly. Good that the rest of the family are sensible people. This happened a year ago and is why my friend group split. It got brought up today and my cousin said I was the idiot, but my aunt said I wasn't. So I wanted unbiased opinions. My ex-friend Cindy keeps dating crappy guys. She can do 200% better than the guys she's been dating, but she only dates guys that treat her like crap, be it cheating, stealing, ghosting, etc. She cried to our friend group that she couldn't find any good guys, despite how we'd all tried setting her up with nice dudes we knew. But she said she never felt a spark. She said she only attracts a-holes, which I call nonsense on, because she attracts tons of men. But for some reason, she cherry-picks the jerks to date. Last year, we were all at one friend's house chilling. It was casual, but I'd just left work right before and was still business casual. I had a nice dress on, modest makeup, hair in a casual updo, and light jewelry. I was dressed for work, but I usually try to look semi-nice regularly for my own comfort. Dressing sloppy makes me feel like crap and doesn't help my mild depression. Problem was that Cindy thought I'd gotten fancied up because her boyfriend was going to be there while we hung out. And apparently, I was flirting because I took the belt off my dress and let my hair down. I didn't do either seductively, just unhooked the belt clip off and stuffed both in my purse. It took 5 seconds and I looked the same, just more comfy. She got her boyfriend to go get pizza, and once he was gone, it started. She was calm at first, saying she didn't appreciate me trying to flirt with her boyfriend, and how I always pull this crap. I had no clue what the duck she was going on about, neither did anyone else. That's when she went ballistic, saying I'm always dressing up and constantly giving her boyfriends ideas. I told her I don't dress to flirt with any of her boyfriends, and her issues were from her picking crap guys to go out with, not because I'm in the room with them or taking my hair down. She started crying, saying I'm the reason her current boyfriend was always hanging out with us. It was to see me. He never wants to come when I'm not there. And if I just dressed normal for once, then things would be fine. I asked what normal was, and she gave a couple examples: sweats, jeans, tees. But I said I'm not limiting my wardrobe outside work to stuff I don't like because she's insecure. She said I was an idiot, and a couple friends agreed, while the majority said she was being unreasonable. We all argued until the friend whose house it was said for Cindy and the two with her to leave. The group split afterwards because Cindy wouldn't budge. I may be the idiot because, to be honest, I could have just worn sweats or something. It would have been easy, I just didn't want to. Am I the idiot? Of course OP is not an idiot. In my opinion, her friend clearly has issues. Not only insecurity issues, but also choosing the guys. I think she should go and see a therapist why she is only attracted to bad guys. I think this comes from childhood. And OP can dress however she wants. If her friend is uncomfortable with that, it's her problem, not OP's. She should try to dress herself up instead of blaming OP for dressing up too much. First of all, I do not have a nanny. I have an amazing best friend named Willow. I also have 4 children, ages 12 to 1. Willow is childless and does not like kids. She does, however, love mine, and they all adore her. Even my, surprise, bonus baby girl cries when she leaves to go home. She will always offer to watch the kiddos if we want some alone time, and has kept them overnight more than once. Every summer, my husband's family likes to rent cabins by the river, and Willow usually tags along. By day 3, she offers to hang with the kids at the cabin. I know her well enough to know that she is usually done with the sun, the water, and brother-in-law hitting on her by this time. She always says that this time with her godkids is the real reason why she comes. This year, when the restrictions were lifted in our state, we came up to the lake. At around 10, the baby was asleep on Willow. The adults were drinking, she does not, and brother-in-law was being creepy. So she announced that she was tired and offered to take the kids back to the cabin. Day 3 comes, and she, of course, asks if she can have the kids for the day. Later on the lake, sister-in-law made a joke about asking Willow to watch all the kids tomorrow, but we laughed it off. When we came back that evening, the kids announced that they were camping out in the living room with Aunt Willow. I asked Willow if she minded if we just went out to the resort lodge, and she was quite happy to kick us out. The morning of checkout, Willow made breakfast because it was her turn, and, of course, my sister-in-law had to comment, "You cook for them too? Wow!" After we returned, I got a text from my sister-in-law calling me a snob for bringing our nanny on the trip. I told her that Willow was not my nanny and that she paid her own way. She then called me a bee because I saw that they were all tired and frazzled, and I could have at least asked Willow to watch all of the kids. I told her she was crazy and I wasn't going to ask my best friend to watch 12 children. She doesn't even like children. My mother-in-law called soon after to apologize and ask for Willow's number. She told me that maybe if she paid Willow to watch my sister-in-law's kids for a night, she would get over her jealousy. She then proceeded to lay out a plan where my best fracking friend would be passed around like some kind of mammy. This would probably be a good time to mention that my best friend is black. I just hung up on her. My husband thinks that I should have at least asked Willow before I said no. I told him that I wasn't going to put her in that kind of position. He is downstairs right now, still trying to placate his mother. I can't ask any of my siblings' perspective because I know that they are also jealous of the kind of friendship that Willow and I have. Now I am torn. Maybe I should have asked her if she wanted to help out. Did I overreact? Am I the a-hole? Edit. To clear a few things up, both brother-in-law and sister-in-law are my husband's biological brother and sister. His 2 brothers and sister were on the trip. Sister-in-law is the harpy, and brother-in-law is the newly divorced brother. I had to cut it out to make the word count. She genuinely loves my children. She messages me her days off asking to babysit. She will ask to pick the baby up from daycare and frequently takes all the kids out on adventures. You don't have to tell me how lucky I am, but maybe it's time I told her how much I appreciate having her in my life. The part about her cooking breakfast does sound a little unfair, but she makes the most amazing pecan caramel cinnamon rolls, and it's become sort of a tradition for her to make them for the kids. As for the harassment from my idiot brother-in-law, Willow and I have been friends since college, and she is tall, confident, and she is very well endowed, both in the front and the back. People stare at her often, and men hit on her all the time. For some reason, when she walks in a room, men just turn stupid. Most of the time, she takes the comments in stride, but for some reason, this year, he was just laying it on hard. This, however, is no excuse, and just because this is something that she deals with on the daily, it doesn't mean that she should have to deal with it on vacation. I accept the for that one, and I will ask my husband to talk to his brother. I've decided to talk to Willow this evening and show her this entire thread. I think OP is not an idiot. In my opinion, OP needs to tell brother-in-law that his creepy behavior towards Willow is unacceptable. Willow sounds like an amazing friend that is consistently offering to help OP. So OP should do the same for Willow by telling the brother-in-law to cut that creepy crap out. Yes, Willow could be the one to tell him to stop, but put yourself in Willow's shoes. Most people in Willow's position would be hesitant to put brother-in-law in his place. OP should make it clear to mother-in-law and sister-in-law that they shouldn't even ask Willow about watching all of the kids. For one, 12 children is too much of an undertaking for one person. Secondly, they need to stop thinking of her like she's the help, because that's clearly how they see her. And lastly, if this continues, Willow is going to start feeling like her kindness is being taken advantage of by your family. and by you if she doesn't feel you actively sticking up for her to them. Update. Well, the conversation with his family went as expected. Sister-in-law was apparently holding a grudge from when we went to Vegas for 5 days in January, and Willow kept our kids. We also like to post our date nights on social media, and in her eyes it's just, and I literally quote, not fair. Reasoning with mother-in-law was like beating my head against a brick wall. She couldn't understand why it was insulting and thought it was a fantastic way for her to make extra money. Brother-in-law fake apologized for his behavior, citing he was titmatized, and have you seen her, bro? Then he formally asked my husband for his permission to bang his hot wife's black friend. I took the phone, that was on speaker, told him to go F himself, and hung up. I meet Willow in a couple of hours and am so guilt-ridden, anxious, and just plain angry at myself. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to hand her my phone and just let her read the thread. Final update. Willow came over this evening and she read pretty much the entire thread. She then told me some of the disgusting comments that she has had to endure from all of the men in his family over the years. She was even jokingly offered money once for just one night of fun. I asked her why she never said anything, and she told me that she was used to it and did not want to bother me. I flat out asked her if any of them had ever touched her inappropriately. She wouldn't give me a straight answer, and I didn't want to push it. She was so nonchalant about everything, and all I wanted to do was cry, because even when she was the person wrong, she still tries to protect me. I told her I was so sorry for everything and that she is under no obligation to be my babysitter, spare my feelings, or put up with my toxic in-laws. I apologized for my complacency in all of this mess and let her know that I loved her and appreciated all the things that she does for my family. We hung out, we laughed, and we cried, just like in college. My husband and I both told her that this was our last trip with his family, but whatever we decided for vacation next summer, she is more than welcome to come as our guest, and she is not allowed to pay for anything, but she doesn't know that yet because she would decline. I know I am lucky to have her. She is like my sister, and I am going to start being as good a friend to her as she is to me.